Hey Ketosis Mom followers and Amazon shoppers, today we are going over some of our favorite pet products. That being said, if you joined us earlier today and you were trying to watch this stream with us earlier today, we apologize. There's been a lot of technical difficulties and things that are not going through over on Amazon for us today. Are we good on sound? Sound was one of them. We were told that our sound was great on our end, and then for some reason it was not transferring over. So thank you to the audience members that let us know that earlier today so that we could fix it. I like to start right here. I'm Jen. Joe is also here today. You'll see him in just one second. I like to start right here in the storefront page because it's a little confusing. Let's just admit it, it is. They've changed the storefront page so many times, and so I like to explain what's new, where to find things before we even get started. As always, you can always find our latest live stream right here in our storefront page. You can tap follow from this stream. You can also tap follow from the storefront. Please, please, please like anything that you do like that we do. It lets Amazon know that you like our work, and we can keep on working. At the very top, this is brand new. You're gonna see right here, it says new. They are called curations. This has been something I've been asking Amazon for a very long time. For instance, all of my Instagram posts, I do different ones on different days and I file them in different idea lists. It's very hard to find when you're digging through this jumbled mess down here. These curations, I can put videos, photos, idea lists, anything that you might be looking for in one location so that they're easy to find. For instance, tonight we're doing pets. So if you are looking for information on any of the items that we go over in more detail, go right here in Amazon Pets in our storefront and you can see other videos and photos of all the products that we're going over today. And as we create them, we will continue to upload them there as well. Everyone say hello to Joe today.
Hello.
Hello. The very first product we're going to be going over is the Bark Box. Joe is opening that up right now, and I'm going to show you guys what we got last time with Bark Box. A lot of people don't know that you can get a Bark Box on Amazon, and you can. Last Bark Box that we got last month was an Italy theme, and we got lots of grain-free treats as well as our Italy themed items. Joe, ooh, what is all that?
This looks like it's Christmas themed. So we do have some Play-Doh pet treats, St. Nick snack jerky.
All right.
All right. We have an elf treat advent calendar for the dog.
We are so big on advent calendars at our house.
The movie Elf.
Yes.
All right. And then
that's going to be awesome.
In the box itself, it looks like it is...
What's the theme this month?
Bark and Grill.
Bark and Grill.
We have a sea and tree sampler, so it's got shrimp and a broccoli.
Oh, that's cute.
We have a mozzarella cheesy teaser.
I like that one. That's cute.
We have magic morsels with oatmeal.
Ooh, oatmeal, always good.
Pumpkin honey recipe chewy sticks.
Pumpkin, always good as well. We order grain-free just so that you guys know.
And Wakey Wakey soft bakes, bacon and oatmeal. So
ooh,
I think he will be happy with this box.
That I think he will be too. And we always do opening videos of our Bark Boxes with Frankie Sinatra as well, who you will see all of his things today. Just so that you guys know, we have a puppy French Bulldog named Frankie Sinatra. And these are all of the things that Joe and I have gotten recently that...
The many things that
Joe and I have gotten recently. My mom's been making fun of us because she says that we're acting like we have a newborn child all over again. There ain't nothing wrong with it. It's another child. I am going to now go over what I got, which is the Fit Bark. There's a lot of different GPSs out there that you can pick for your cat, dog, whatever you're tracking. The Fit Bark for me is what I picked. It has GPS that works with cell phone towers, so I don't have to personally be near Frankie if someone picks him up and goes off with him to be able to track him down. This also tells me what his sleep habits are looking like so that I can see if he's getting enough sleep or too much sleep in his case. I can also look at some of his health stats as far as how active he is. Now, he is a French Bulldog. He is not very active, but I still like to compare day to day just to make sure that he's at least getting that minimum activity that he should be getting, even though he's a lazy lump. He's a lazy potato. But the size of this, just so that you guys know, is the exact size of this little white portion right here. And it zip ties onto whatever collar or harness or whatever your pet may be wearing at the time. You can also change out the face plates on them, which is fun and neat and cool. And they are also, you can get them wet. So this is the one that I selected for our pet because I felt like out of all the features and pricing and everything, this was the best option. I'm going to let Joe go over, and I do see a % off at the time of our live stream. So if you're watching us live, you can see that as well. All you have to do is click on the featured item and it will show you the pricing. Joe's going to go over this item for you guys.
So this is the Molly Pet 6-in-1 Pet Grooming Vacuum Cleaner. We haven't actually used it on Frankie, but we have used it for some of the spots that he does lay in. It's got a handful of different attachments, I think 6, which is 6-in-1. It's got brushes, it's got clipper tools, and they got the kind of the suction and cut type thing going on so that none of the hair goes everywhere. And it's got a clear canister so you can see it filling up real time. It's relatively lightweight and it's low noise. So if you're looking for something that you can carry around the house and kind of get the areas that your normal vacuum won't get, this is a good option.
Okay. All right, as well as for that, I do want to mention one of the other reasons that I personally wanted it. Joe said that we have vacuumed up some of the places that Frankie sits. One thing and reason I did not want to get a dog to begin with was because of all the hair around the house. Now, I did see a lot of people using these multiple places around their house and on their pets because it is the low noise. Then the pet is a little more prone to letting you use it. So if you're in the market for either being able to vacuum up areas very quickly or the pet itself or kind of both, this is a great option. Another thing I want Joe to cover with you guys that also has a % off at the time of our live stream, and just so that we are disclosing it, we are a Ruffin Rufus partner. So we love all of their products already. So it's great to partner with them on anything that we do.
All right, we got a pair of handy dandy nail clippers. So we've only used those, I think, once, but what we have used a lot is the brush that comes with it. So it does have a little guard so that you're not going to ruin the bristles because they are the little tiny bristles. One thing I want to point out about this is this works great right after a bath and after you've dried them off and they have damp fur because the fur sticks perfectly to this. And then you can just pull it off with a paper towel or toss it into a garbage can. One note is if you do it when they're dry, it works just as well. But when you pull that hair off, if you're not pulling it off with something wet, it's likely going to go everywhere.
Which is not what we're looking for. But what is nice about these is these are the exact same kinds of tools that you will see in a typical groomer as well. So you can grab these at home, which might help you save some at the groomer, right? So that was the whole reason that we wanted to grab those for ourselves, is just to do a little bit more at home as far as his grooming goes. Yes, Alicia, it is for dogs. Are you asking about the clippers and the brush? Are you wanting to know if it's also for cats? Because I have seen it used on both, actually. But yes, Ruffin Rufus is for dogs. So the brush, I really feel, so I used to have cats. My grandmother used to have like the really long haired cats that would get knots and everything. That's the same type of brush that we would use for that to kind of get those knots out as well. So it works really well. So it's for pets, okay? Just so that I'm answering your question. All right, the next item I'm gonna have Joe go over, we were trying to show B-roll video of this earlier today and then it kept kicking us off. So we just decided we're not doing B-roll, we're just gonna show you guys the actual item.
So you're gonna see me going off screen a lot because we have a lot of big things that instead of doing video for, I've brought down to our basement to do this. This is the Veckin 95-ounce pet fountain, and it doesn't have to have the fountain. You can take it off and it'll just bubble water out, but Our dog loves the little fountain feature, and he licks off of that.
He loves it.
It has a pump with a big filter on it that catches the larger particles, and then it's got a replaceable filter in the middle that filters through everything else. Now, I did bring this down here. One of the things you can see is it works.
Yeah, it does.
Look at how disgusting that is.
That's grabbing like all his food
particles and things like that come through. It catches everything so that the water that comes back out is nice and clean. Probably has cleaner water than we do, and it does have a little blue night light as well.
And it's really cute, so he can even see where his water is, even if it's dark. It runs all the time. I have never seen him drink from the actual pool cover of it. He always drinks from the actual fountain so that he's not having to do his neck down. He can just kind of stand straight and drink. Because we did read that with French Bulldogs especially, it can kind of hurt their neck if they're having to kind of do over like this. I mean, would you want to reach over like this to drink and eat? No, you would rather be upright, right? So ergonomically, it works better for that. I also like to put those breath drops in water. And when we had dogs before and they just had a typical normal bowl, you could see a lot of that gunk that Joe just showed you just settling in the bottom and then kind of mixing in. And then you have to change the bowl constantly anyway. So get your pet the fountain. Okay, next item, Joe. Hi, Angel. How are you doing? And Alicia, how are you guys doing tonight? Thank you guys for joining. If you have questions on anything at any time while we are going over things, please feel free to ask us. That's what we're here for. These are all products that we use. Obviously, we have them all on hand so that we can talk about them. These are all items we love. And sorry, I know you're ready. If there's something further out in our stream that you are interested in and you have questions before you purchase it, please just let us know in the chat. We are happy to skip ahead.
All right, this is the Pappy Feed 6-liter automatic pet feeder. I'm more the manual stuff with this. Jen's done a lot of the app stuff, so I'll show the manual things. It does have a little tray
a good app.
that is removable. It has an automatic feed that you can do yourself. It does have a safety lock on top, so if the pet knocks it over, it's not going to knock all the food out, which is really nice. And then Jen can talk a little bit about the app, which we use as well as the Amazon function.
Yes, I can. And I actually wanted to see if I could pull it up in here and sort of show you guys how the app looks. So in your smart home, you're going to see that I have Frankie Sinatra right up top. That is this feeder right here. When you pull this open, it's wanting me to go to home page. Oh, it's saying it's offline.
Well, it's not plugged in. So
it's not plugged in. But underneath there, you're going to see that he gets 4 servings of food. And then he is set up to have 3 feedings a day, morning, afternoon, and evening, for his meals. Now, this app obviously is programmable from anywhere. You don't have to be right up on the unit. The unit does need to be plugged in, obviously, for you to be able to see it. However, what's nice about this is even if you don't want to use the app and you're not very tech savvy, you can still have Alexa. You can say, Alexa, please feed the dog. And being part of the smart home app and working with Alexa, Alexa will then feed your dog once it's initially programmed. What's nice about this is it also has the strap on the top. Did you show them that part?
I showed them the strap.
Just in case your pet is a little rough and wants to knock things over. I just really like this personally. We're in the process of changing his food, and we will talk about the food later. But this is really nice to be able to even mix in food if you want to during that process to mix everything in there as well. And at the time of our live stream, if you are watching us live, you will see that there is a % off on this automatic pet food feeder as well. Joe is going to get set up next with the potty pad holder tray.
Jen's going to be switching me off camera.
I am. I'm going to be switching him off camera. So typically, if you guys watch us, and I see that a lot of you are brand new followers, and thank you so much for that. Be sure that you heart and like our content at any time. You can heart and like more than once. It just shows Amazon that you are liking our content and you would like to see more of it, and also what products you are liking as well. It gives us analytics. This, I know that you are going to tell them why you picked it. I'm actually the one who sent it to him to buy. I just want credit for it.
So this is a potty pad holder, and we got the one. We have a boy dog, so we got the one with the splash guard up here. So if he does lift his leg, it'll hit the splash guard and come down into the tray. So it does have a grate in here, so you don't really need a potty pad on top. You don't really need one inside because it'll catch everything in here and you can dump it out, but just for sanitary reasons, I put a pad on the inside. And hopefully, you know, just as a backup, because I'd rather have him just go on top, and, you know, I don't want his paws or nails getting stuck in here, so it's just nice to have one on the top too. It's tapered on the sides, so if there's a little splash on the side, it will go down into the tray. And then this top pops right off. You can see like that, and you can swap everything out, clean it out, and it is all plastic, so if you need to hose it off, it's not a problem either.
True. And so one thing that Joe and I were talking about earlier today, especially because what I like about this being an actual drop-down tray is that, let's say you're going to work, but you let your dog stay out because he is potty trained to go on something like this. That tray is going to hold everything in there until you can get home to empty it, instead of it leaking through or around pee pads, and then you're still cleaning up the floor, which is just what we used to do with our old dogs.
You're going to have to let me know when you switch cameras because my feed is a little bit behind.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I am switching over to me. The next item that Joe's going to be going over is a mat that fits underneath the automatic food container that we just showed, as well as the water fountain for when Frankie has some leaks.
Yeah, and we, back on me now?
Yes.
Just point to me or point away from me.
I will point to you. You're on.
So we have this in here. It's a rubberized mat. It's got little dimples on it too, and it's got a little edge around the whole outside. They make them in different sizes, but really we wanted something where, you know, we have the food on one side, the water on the other, and if he drips or spills anything, it's not going to go onto the wooden floor underneath it. So right. You can tell it's been used. It's not cleaned. I brought it straight down from upstairs because he just had his dinner. But we use it. It's great. No concerns.
Now we do have a question from Alicia. She wants to know, and Alicia, I think you're talking about the potty trainer pad. I think you are. And so we will answer this. She says, how do you know that dogs will use this? They have to be trained. I will tell you that. Yeah,
they do have to be trained. I mean, he, when he first saw it, he immediately went to it and went on it.
Immediately went to it.
I cannot say that's happened every time since.
No, it has not happened every time since.
But
they do make a spray. Yeah. I will tell you guys this. They do make a spray that it's called, like, you spray where you want them to go. And you can spray basically that whole thing to let them know that's where you want them to go. We have kind of been leaving where he does go on there for a while so that he still smells it, so that he knows to go back to that spot. However, that being said, he's a puppy. He's only a couple, like 3 or 4 months old. He's not quite 4 months old. So we are going to be getting him training, and we do have to decide if we want the trainer to train him to go just on a pee pad like this, or train him to let us know that he needs to go outside. And I'm prone to the pee pad myself, but I'm not sure how Joe feels. All right. Let me go back to me so Joe can collect his next item. Oh, you don't?
It's right here. Are we able to just do all 3 of these at once so I can have all the sprays?
I will find them for you. As you talk about them, I will tag them for you, my love.
All right. So I'll make it easy and I'll just go in order. We'll come back to this angry orange, but we'll start with this one.
Joe uses these a lot.
This is the Pet Odor Eliminator. So this is a fresh orange blast. It smells like fresh cut oranges is the best way I can put it.
It does smell good.
This is something you would use on, let's say he, Peter pooped on a hard surface like a tile floor or something like that. On the tile itself, you don't really need anything to get a stain out. You're just spraying to get rid of the odor after you've cleaned it. And it leaves a fresh scent in the area. It's safe for use on, I'll just read off the back of the bottle, carpet, floors, fabric, basement, furniture, trash cans, bathrooms, and turf. And one of the things I will say is Jen didn't realize I was spraying this on some of the stuff going into the trash can.
I didn't.
You'll find out we've repurposed some of our baby stuff for like our baby diaper pails are now for any messes that we've cleaned up for the dog, but works great, smells really great too.
One thing that I want to say, sorry, I'll go to the thing of both of us, where you said that we repurposed some of this stuff for baby stuff. I wish we would have had that odor eliminator right there when we had babies for the diaper pails.
or even when they were toddlers and still peeing on the floor. And I'll get to this one in a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just, when you said that, I'm like, man, that would have been nice because those diaper pails were not good.
Yeah, because we went from not having to worry about that poopy smell in the house for
to getting a
while
puppy,
to having a puppy,
Joe
and
thought
now
it was
having
a
to
good
come
idea.
back to that. But it brings me to my next thing, which is a good segue into kind of how I have these ordered. You've heard of Poopery. This is the Petpery. It's a pet odor eliminator. This one is for air and fabric. It's positively fresh scent. It can be used on a variety of surfaces. It's safe on their dog beds, the pet carriers, the couches, the pee pad areas, your car, or you can spray it in the air around something. And one of the things I will say about this, if you have that urine smell, it says on the back, eliminates 99% of pet odors in the home within 60 seconds, even urine, which is a hard smell to get rid of sometimes.
Well, let's talk about the hard smell to get rid of upstairs, because we had to go to extracurriculars after school today, and Frankie he could not hold it. It didn't happen. And so that is going to have to be all upstairs later because he had an accident in his pen. He was in there too long. It's just as much our fault as it is his. It might even be mostly our fault because he was in there too long. That is, I mean, he had an accident in our room when we first got him. It was so bad. I could go around with that Petpery just in the air, and then it was immediately gone. And it wasn't.
Let me know, because it looks like this was cut off on the camera feed, so I don't know, because it's cut off.
It was. I had you on full screen.
All right.
I had you on full screen for that. What I do want to say is that the Petpery at the time of our live stream does have 1% off. And then I'm going to scoot ahead because I added this later and then I forgot to move it around in the stream. I'm also going to tag the Angry Orange Stain Remover that Joe has in his hand right now. And it does also have 1% off at the time of our live stream.
So I forgot to bring one of the coolest things about buying this one down. It comes with a UV light that can attach to the top. I forgot to bring it down. I don't keep it on there because you don't really want a UV light on around the kids, because it just like the sun, it will cause you a burn if you have it on your skin. But one of the great things about it is you can see where they've peed or threw up or whatever else that you may not have seen earlier. Shine that light around and you can find out if they've gone on their bed and you just didn't know it.
Yeah.
But one of the great things about this one versus the original Angry Orange, just the odor eliminator, is this is a stain removing enzyme cleaner. So it can go on all the same surfaces as this one, but the advantage to this one is it does have that enzyme that breaks it down. And especially, I'll just put it out there, he tends to poop on the rug that I bought, or that Jen bought, that helps dry his feet when he comes in. It's an absorbent rug. Alcohol doesn't work that great getting the stain out. A few sprays of this and scrubbing with a paper towel, and then a few more stains and scrubbing with a paper towel, and you can't even tell it was there.
And I was just telling Alicia in the chat too that we do, when I started in my storefront tonight, that top list, the curated list that has Amazon Pets in it, I will be pulling any videos of Joe cleaning floors with this to show that it does in fact work, just so that you guys know.
We love this. Even if if something gets on the grout, this gets it out of the grout too. I've also used it on dog beds because he's messed on some of the dog beds. And it's even good to treat, even if you plan on washing it afterwards, it'll get the stain out before it sets in.
The perks of having a new puppy.
All right.
The next thing that I'm going to go over, I'm going to grab it and show you guys up close. So part of having a doggy, like a French Bulldog, or any kind of dog really that gets those tear stains, like the tear duct stains, or they have folds in their face, pug, normal bulldog, there's all kinds of dogs that have the folds in their face. It's really important to clean all of those folds in their face and those tear stains. Cats as well. So cats can also kind of get those tear stains as well. It's important to clean that off of their face. This is made with aloe vera and coconut oil, and what's nice about these is it's a very small jar, but when you open it up, all of these are already pre-soaked down in there, and you just have to pull one out and use it very quickly and then toss it. So it's already pre-treated. You're not having to kind of wrestle them and fight them and get stuff and put other things on. It's just nice that these are very small as well, because I tend to kind of fold it in half and it fits perfectly down into his creases so that I can get all that out, because you definitely don't want them to have any type of bacteria or yeast or just dirt or anything in there. You want to make sure that you're keeping them nice and clean. He's very high maintenance. Very high maintenance. Go, Joe.
So we have the Pup Tech soft mesh dog harness. It does come with a matching 6-foot leash. I would say this is good because he's about 12 to 13 pounds now. And I want to say this said it was good for dogs up to about, somewhere between 12 and 15 pounds. I haven't checked the listing in a while since I bought it, but we bought it because it was the right size for him. It came in different sizes. This, like I said, is the small, but then they have medium, large, extra large, things like that. Jen picked the color. It's kind of like a blue and brown plaid color. He likes it. He doesn't mind wearing it. When he sees it, he'll sit there and wait for you to put it on because he knows what's coming.
Yep.
It's got the little, latch on the top, so, it's not pulling at his neck. But he likes it, doesn't mind it at all, and we like it because it's nice. It's a 6-foot leash that comes with this version.
Well, and alongside the harness as well. So for the Fit Bark specifically, we do get collars to put the Fit Bark on that we covered before to be able to track him. But I feel very odd, and I don't like when people are kind of pulling their dog by a collar and it's choking them and you can hurt their neck. I like for if you have a dog on a leash or you're putting them in a car and they're getting hooked in, for them to be on a full harness, because if you're in a car and you have your dog just kind of hooked to this and it's tossed around, that can still really harm your dog. So I prefer him in the harness. Joe has felt my wrath about the harness. Which brings you to your next item, which you're holding up. Which brings me to this. So if you guys follow me on basically any social media, you know that I am a very large Lily Pulitzer fan. I wanted him to have a Lily collar so that he could match me and his little blue thing. So there's a matching leash that goes with this as well. And so these are actually, and just so you guys know, they're an older Lily item. So they are on Amazon. Found it on Amazon, and I got it on here. So I wanted to make sure that I tagged it for all of my fellow Lily lovers. Now, Joe is also going to cover our other harness that's a little bit bigger. It's
a Couser Tuxedo dog harness. It's still a small according to the size, but it's a little bigger small than the one we have. So make sure you're checking the listings to make sure it's appropriate for your dog. They usually have listed based on the weight or the type of dog. This one is just starting to fit him. We were washing the other one and we had to put this one on him. He likes this one too. It comes apart and slides on. It just looks, it's still a little funny to me to see a little dog walking around in a tuxedo.
He's so cute. You're crazy.
But he likes it. This one does come with a leash as well, a matching black leash. I don't have that down here right now, but we do have one that comes with it.
The next item Joe is also going to go over, and just so that you all know on the next item he's about to grab. As you can see, Joe has his Hawaiian shirt on today. So
one of many.
One of many. So it just made sense that his little doggy should also have.
It's the Explorer Hawaiian shirt for little dogs. This is a small as well. I think he's about grown out of it though already, so we're probably going to have to get him a bigger size.
Yeah, Alicia asked, how old is your dog? So he's almost 4 months old.
He'll be 4 months in a couple of days.
Yeah, he is still very much a puppy. He's getting big.
He's about 50% bigger than when we got him about a month ago. So he is growing quite a bit, but he didn't mind this on at all. I mean, some dogs mind sweaters and clothes, but I mean, he didn't. This was fine.
He's very chill.
It's got 3 Velcro pieces on the bottom, so he'll walk around in it, doesn't mind it very much at all.
That Joe did just have held up as well does have a % off at the time of our live stream. Yes, Joe, I think you mentioned you did wash it, so it is washable. And I know I had 2 small dogs before, and they would wear clothes, but my boy dog would just lay on the ground anytime I put clothes on him.
And act like he couldn't move.
And he would act like he couldn't move. So I'm actually really excited that Frankie lets us put stuff like this on him, and so we just wanted to show it. One other thing from Ruff and Rufus that I personally really like. This is a retractable leash. So Joe likes just your typical leash just so that he doesn't have to worry about, like him going further than he wants him to go. However, I like the ones that have the button where I can get him even closer if I want to, for instance. This set right here comes with everything. It comes with their retractable leash. It comes with the little, the little bags, the little baggies, the baggie holder. There we go. I'm losing my words. So it comes with the baggie holder. This set specifically also came with one of those pop-up water bowls that you can attach to this as well, so that you have that ready to go in case he needs it. And then it also came with a little round light, especially if you're somewhere new and you're sending them out and you want to make sure that you know where they are, you can clip that onto their collar. So Rough and Rufus, this is the 360-degree tangle free. It extends up to 16 feet, and it does have support for up to a 100-pound dog, just so that you know. So if you know somebody who just got a dog or needs a leash, this might be for you. Another item from Rough and Rufus that was very super simple to set up, and we had a setup B-roll video earlier, but again, we are not doing B-roll videos tonight because it is not just off Amazon Live every time. Not yet. Just calm down. Guys, he is wanting the spotlight over there. This is Joe's baby playpen.
I'll try to keep my face on here, but this is about 3 feet wide and about 2 feet tall. Just to kind of show you how this comes together. It's got these little supports on each side, you know, that are kind of like those elastic. They come together and fit in together in the rods. And
if you've ever put together like a child's princess castle or something, it's just like those.
Yeah. So then this just Velcros over the top. Make sure I'm on full screen so they can see that. All right.
You are.
So that way they don't pop out. There's no risk there. It does have a doggy door up in the front. We don't use it, but you can open it up and then roll it up, and it has some Velcro on it as well so that you can keep that up and not have to worry about that going out. What we like to do is just keep this top part open, which I don't know if we can see the top part.
If you turn it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we keep the top part open. It does have this waterproof base on it. I like to keep the top open because this is next to our bed.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And, you know, we don't use it quite as a playpen, but, you know, it's kind of where he feels comfortable, because the first couple of times we did put him in his crate, he really didn't like it. He's used to that now, but this type of dog, they really don't like being away from people. And
they're snuggle bugs.
And, you know, he's to the point now where he knows this is where he goes to sleep. So he'll go and run into the bedroom and lay right next to it because he can't get inside it. We don't have the doggy door open. And it fits a small bed, which we're going to show you a little bit later. I do put a pee pad in there because occasionally he won't wake us up in time, but he does know to go on a pee pad. So it's got enough room for that. And then he does have one of his little toys, which Jen will go over in a little bit as well.
And what's really nice about this in general is if you are someone who travels a lot and you are traveling to, let's say, like we go to my mother-in-law's house, for instance, then we have somewhere that folds up flat into a circle about this big in a bag. It does
have a carrying bag, which I don't have down here.
It does have a carrying bag. It does come with
a little cup, an expandable cup.
Yes, and we can kind of pop that up at her house. It has a waterproof bottom. He can stay kind of confined in there. Or let's say that you're getting ready to go to all the extracurricular activities, like all the soccer practices, and you're sitting out in a field and you really just need to kind of have somewhere to have your puppy or your dog with you. You could take something like this and set up right next to your chair, and they can come with you, and then you don't really have to worry about them running off or tangling up in leashes or running over to other people and things like that. So I really, really like this. I think this is probably one of Rough and Rufus's best products, along with, I will go back on me.
Yeah.
Along with this next item. Now, I have had questions on social media about this next item from Rough and Rufus as far as the smell. We are not like putting it in our hand and eating it. However, we don't really smell this either. Like, it's not like our dog eats it and then he smells like salmon all day. It's nothing like that. But this is just really good for his skin, and I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, it's the salmon oil dietary supplement. It's also good for joints, just like fish oil you take as, a human. But it's all good. It's got if you're curious as to what's in it, it's got it on the back based on percentages and micrograms. So no concerns about that. It does have easy instructions on the back. Like, we were giving him half a pump because he's under 12.5 pounds, and that's what it says to give them. So we give it to him on his meal in the morning. But if you have larger dogs, it's got like 12.5 to 25, 25 to 50, things like that on the back. It tells you about how much is in there. I will say that I've not gotten my nose down in it, but when I put, you know, the pump or half a pump on in the morning for his dog food, I don't really smell anything.
We have requests to see Frankie, just so that you know. They want to know where our dog is. So he's upstairs in his crate upstairs right now, with one of his favorite bones.
Yep.
And
which we will talk about the
we will talk about
later.
those bones, but I will make you guys a deal. We will bring him on at the end of the live stream. I will send Joe to go get him and let you guys see his sweet, sweet face. We tried to have him on our live stream earlier today, and we kept getting kicked off. And so then it was time for his nap, and he just was not about it. He was not. Yeah. It was not for him.
I think I can head on up there after I talk about the dog tie out.
Do you have the Natural Dog Company calming oil?
I do.
You do. So this calming oil, Natural Dog Company, we love a lot of their things. This calming oil specifically is a lot like that salmon oil that Joe was just showing you all, but this is more for if there's a thunderstorm outside.
It's calming, chamomile, passion flower, hemp seed oil. This, he loves the flavor. It's bacon and peanut butter.
Yeah, bacon and peanut butter. I mean, you can't. I would love bacon.
He loves it. Again, it tells you on the back, and this is what I love about a lot of these dog products now. Up to 25 pounds, one pump. Yeah. You know, so it does give you a fairly easy instructions. It's gonna last a while. And you know, no problems. Again, it has the ingredients on the back and how much is in it. He doesn't mind it. He loves the flavor. We haven't thankfully had to use a lot of it. You know, he's
we had
like
one major
said,
thunderstorm.
He's pretty calm.
He's pretty chill.
You know, if we need something, we have it.
Yeah. All right. Another thing that I do want to show you guys. So when we got Frankie, this is next to me. We did ask, you know, what was his sleeping habits before we got him, because we wanted to try to make him more comfortable. And he had been sleeping with his brothers and sisters. And so we wanted to get something kind of like we got when our kids were little, that you can put a heartbeat on for them, so that when he was laying in his room, he had a little snuggle friend, snuggle buddy. You turn this on and it does a heartbeat, and then you place it back inside.
Yeah, it's got two modes. It's got one, when you press it once, it'll go on for, I think it's about 8 hours.
8 hours,
and then if you hold it, it'll go on for continuous. So you gotta remember to turn it off. It does, if you hold it for 3 seconds, it'll turn it off as well.
And so one thing about so we have, like I said, a French Bulldog puppy, and they really like to be like on you and near people. They don't like to be away from you. And so typically, like even leaving him upstairs right now, when we would leave this with him, but we did want to show it today. Joe's also going to show you all his baby bouncing chair.
So this is the dog rocking chair. We saw videos all over social media about French Bulldogs jumping into these things.
And how much they love them.
One thing I will say is I have this out inside out, because there are two clips, kind of like a baby. You'd clip the baby in with the legs coming out the bottom. So the legs would be coming out here and you harness them in, which I've seen them do that with the dogs. But mainly it's for them, and he's done this where he just runs up and bounces into this part, and then he'll either just lay there or chew on his favorite bone. But they obviously love it. It is adjustable depending on how high you want it to go. They do have a tension bar here. You can adjust to different levels. This does come off. His bones in that. It can be washed if they mess it, so don't worry about that.
I think they also like it because that middle portion is mesh, and so they tend to run hot. French Bulldogs do. Well, Bulldogs too. I feel like they tend to run a little hotter in nature, and so they probably like that they still get a little bit of airflow in this. And I do want to say that the dog rocking chair does also have a % off at the time of our live stream. Another item that is very important to me, because I ask every single night if Frankie has had his no toot. Yes. That is something French Bulldogs are notorious for. And so every night when he's asleep in between me and Joe on the sofa, and we're both like working on our computer or watching a show, you'll get gassed a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So I like for him to have one of these up to, let's see, 39 pounds, only has one soft chew. And you guys can see they are not very large at all. So this cup is going to last a fairly long amount of time, but we do give him one of these at night so that we have no tooths. Another item that I got for him, and I'm going to go over to this camera to show you, is I got him this alligator because we also learned in the process of looking up what kind of dog we wanted to get that they can be rough chewers, right? And so we wanted to get something that was a little more durable. This almost feels like a tire. It's very, very, very thick. So if you have a dog or animal in general that likes to chew on things and you're having problems with them chewing things around the house, your shoe, furniture, anything like that, you probably want to get them something like this. I've also seen people on social media spreading any kind of paste, that like a doggy paste or even peanut butter on the back of this to give the dog so that they're chewing on it longer and it keeps them engaged. So this is also has a % off at the time of our live stream. Another item that also has a % off at the time of our live stream is this little pineapple. What I really like about this specific doggy chew is that you can put their treats or bones up inside of this little hole right here, and then they can also smell it. You see all those holes all the way around, and this is also a very, very durable treat like holder here where they are going to chew and chew and chew trying to get those treats or bones out of here, and it keeps them chewing on this instead. Plus I just really think the pineapple is really, really cute. Another item that I got for Mr. Frankie is down here. Oh, sorry guys. These are the Fido belly bones. You can get dental bones, belly bones, belly bone, all that jazz with these. What I like about these is this is a pre and probiotic for your dog in a bone like this that also keeps them busy. So if you wanted to put it up inside of the pineapple, then you could. You could also, I like to give him these when he's up in his room upstairs because it keeps him busy. And then it's also his pre and probiotic for the day. Joe will show you guys in a little bit one of his original pens and then where he chewed. And so if you can get bones like this that keep them busy, and then it also has things like a probiotic and prebiotic in it while they're chewing, then even better. Joe's going to go over one of his other favorite bones that lasts a really long time.
The Himalayan Yaki Cheesy Chew. He loves these. He will chew on them for a while, and he happens to take these throughout the house because we made a bad decision of giving him a handful of them. And he'll go and bury one here or there, and then he'll go look for it, and he'll play with it. He'll chew on it. Absolutely love it. They last a long time. And again,
no smell, really.
Smell.
Yeah.
And he's been chewing on this one and using it, which is a nice bonus.
So that's Joe's one complaint about our bully sticks.
Yes.
Frankie loves the bully sticks.
He loves them.
He has gone through multiple bully sticks already. And so I have these tagged down below right now. And these bully sticks, they do have a little bit of a flavor to them, let's say it that way. But these are grass-fed beef, high protein, all natural, 100% digestible, and they also last long. So if you're not wanting to constantly have to be buying stuff all the time for your dog because they're chewing through it or they're eating it like quickly, then you want to kind of invest in some things like this that they'll like that will last a longer amount of time. Now Joe's going to show you guys the cat and dog carrier that is also a cart.
All right, so this is the Lekesky Cat Dog Carrier. I bought this just because it was one of the nicer looking ones, and it's TSA compliant. It does have removable wheels, and in fact this whole bottom portion can get removed. It's got Velcro that keeps it on. You would pull that off if you're going to slide it underneath the seat. It's got a telescoping handle, and it's also got a clip here that will keep it in place when you're not using it. Again, you don't need to use this part of the attachment. You can take it all off and just use it as a carrier. It's not that heavy with it on it, but without it, it's much lighter. It's also got a shoulder strap. It's got Velcro again. Love the Velcro up top where you can have an opening on the top and then you can roll it, you know, kind of halfway, or if you want to do it all the way, you have those options here. It does have a forward-facing opening as well, if you want to open it this way.
He likes having his head out the top.
Yeah, he likes having his head out the top. And it works out nice because they do have the tie-in here where you can clip into their collar or their harness. There is an insert in here just to have a flat surface, so you can have a smooth surface or a kind of padded surface that goes in here. And then one of the other things that's become a necessity is it also has a pouch on the front. So we got some wipes, again, repurposing baby stuff. It's got the little doggy bags and then a pee pad in here too.
Very nice. So Joe has been seen strolling around with Mr. Frankie in that little rolling cart, rolling up to pizza places and going and sitting down already. You can also check out those videos on the storefront. All right, we are now going to go over to what I hope to be Frankie's long-term
Let's just make sure I'm visible completely.
You are visible.
All right. So one of the things I want to point out is this. One of the reasons we got this, A, was that it looks like a piece of furniture. B, it comes fully assembled with the exception of a strap for the lid here to prevent it from tilting back too much when you open it. And the latch is here. It also comes with a pan, which you have an option of putting inside or underneath, depending on the preference that you have.
Which I said put it inside because I didn't want his little paws falling through.
So this latch is pretty nice because it locks upright and you can open and close the door and you don't have to worry about it. It'll just stay there. When you lock it, it also slides back, and that way it can't move up or down because it has the catch here. It opens from the top too. I can't open this directly because it's just too big.
It's huge.
But it's really easy. You just open it all the way, and then the base slides down on the inside. It's slats, wooden slats as well. I think it's a cedar or a pine. It's a softwood, and I want to point that out for the next thing I'm going to say. We put him in here when he, like within a few days of him coming to the house. And as I mentioned before, he didn't really like being in a crate away from us when we went out. He does better in the metal one we have now, but he's gotten used to being in it. So he's gnawed and scratched through here. But again, soft wood, so these aren't sharp splinters. So if your dog does get into it, it's not going to cause their gums or paws to bleed. All I'm really going to do when he gets a little bit older and is used to the crate is sand this down a little bit, put a little bit of white paint on it. We like this one because it was like a classic farmhouse. It's got a little bit of like the wood knots coming through.
Well, and the other reason that we really like this one that Joe's not mentioning, so it does have the door in the front, but then the whole lid also opens up.
And that I'll show you here. I can at least show you that it does fold.
So if your dog has an uh-oh in its pen, it's got an upset tummy or
you just pop everything through the top.
Correct. You can just open the lid instead of trying to get down in those little bitty doors trying to get everything out. Now, I love the way this looks.
It is carried.
But he is just, right now, he really just wants to be with us. And so he's going to try to get through anything he can. He has even gone so far as to Houdini his way out of his metal, like, pen, because he learned how to kind of wiggle to get one of the latches open. And then we were somewhere getting alerts from our security system that there was someone in the house, and it was him running all around the house looking for us.
Yep.
So
but I would say this is probably about, about 25 pounds, 25 pounds.
It is.
It does have the carrying handles.
But I love it. And also, so if you guys are traveling, like I said before, you could fold this up, how Joe has it folded up, and it has the handle on it, and you could travel with this as well. And right now we have it down in our storage area until he's ready to be in it full time.
And one thing I will point out is, he did get a hold of this wood, but these bars, they're metal coated, so you don't have to worry about that.
Correct. All right, the very next item that we're going to be going over got Joe kicked out of the front seat of the car.
All right, okay.
So
Sorry,
this is a dog car seat. There is a % off at the time of our live stream on this. This is my favorite dog car seat for him for a couple of reasons, and let me explain with Joe. So if Joe will kind of go that way a little bit with it. Yeah, it is much larger, and you know what, I'm just going to talk while you're on full screen. It is much larger than the other one that we have that just fits on our console, and so he has a lot more room in here. The main reason that I also really like this is because it straps to the seat, It also straps up through the handle if he's in the front seat, or if you put this in the back seat, you can do the back around the back head of the seat and then the front around your front seat to hold it all in place as well. He does a lot better in here. There's also a hook inside there to strap him in as well. This can fit a whole dog bed. We do have a pee pad down in there right now because last time he was in there, he was still just a couple of weeks old when he was riding in the car.
And it does have pouches in the front as well.
It does have pouches in the front for storage and things like that. So this is one of my favorite dog car seats that I like. Another item that we're going to be going over, and I believe, do you have the bells, Joseph?
I don't think it's me that has the bells.
Do I have the bells? Maybe are they still on the door?
They might still be on the door.
Okay, well, Joe will go get the bells while
Actually,
I talk about.
They're not on the door. We took them off the door because he was trying to play with them.
So they are in they're in his furniture then.
Okay.
All right, Joe's going to go look for the bells while I talk about the doggy doorbell. Yes, doggy doorbell. So we talked earlier about the pee pad that we have, and then we also talked about Frankie going outside as well. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of people clicking on the doggy bells and the doorbells as well. So for the doorbell, this little guy right here, and we were showing B-roll video of this earlier, it's at the front door, and it does come with these little Velcro pads that you can put on the back and do up, or you can just do like I did and take a normal command strip and just put on the back if you're worried about it pulling paint or anything off the wall. I have this down very, very low, kind of at the very bottom of the door frame so that he can go up and just hit this with his nose. When he does that, there's a receiver that is over in the main room where we typically sit that is just a typical doorbell, just, you know, very loud ding dong. The reason that we have this at the front door, and we also got the bells as well at the front door, was so that we knew that he was at the front door. He's very, very quiet. He will wake up from sleeping in his dog bed and just walk over to the front door and sit there when he needs to go outside. He doesn't bark. He doesn't come let you know that he needs to go out. Nothing. So we are trying to train him to use the doggy doorbell, which they can do with their paw or their nose. You just put it at whatever level. And then each time you start going out with them, when you're training them like this, when they're little, or you could try with older dogs as well, you could have them go and hit it with their nose or hit it with their paw before you go outside so that they hear the bell as well as they are physically doing the action that causes the bell, so they start connecting the two. The reason that we got, hi Kylie Kinney, the reason that we got these as well as the puppy bells that Joe went to go get from upstairs is because we wanted him to start hearing some type of noise, knowing that that meant the door was going to open to be able to go outside. Now, I will say with our bells, because he is still very much a puppy, with our bells, he started thinking it was a toy and wanted to play with it more. And so we took it off of the front door for now until we get the trainer here, and we asked the trainer, like, hey, do we need to leave these on the door, or do we need to just train him to do the doorbell? Or if we're going to go a completely separate direction and just do the pee pads. Because our doggy trainer did tell us, I believe we can only pick one outcome for potty training. We can either have him train to do this, or we can have him train to go on the pee pad. So I am going to let Joe go over the doggy bed, and after the doggy bed, Joe will also go over the dirt devil, and I'm gonna go find these bells because you should never send your husband to go find something.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help that Gigi brought a bunch of
doggy
clothes and outfits over.
Let me see if I can find it. All right, you go ahead.
All right, this is the Nandog Pet Gear crown bed, because supposedly he's the king. But I will say it's quite nice and comfy. It's got like that velvety feel to it. The insert does come out, and it's either side is the same, very soft and plush. It's got the mesh bottom on it too. It's fairly washable, I'll say that much. He has had a couple of accidents in here. Stick it in the washer. You can let it air dry, or I've even put it in the dryer to let it dry out a little bit. It's held up to probably 3 or 4 washes already in the last month, and it's still holding strong. He likes to put his head up in between the little crown points, and sometimes he'll just, wacky little dog that he is, will just lay half out of the bed as well. Loves it. I don't think he can say enough about it. I don't think I've seen him not happy in this bed. It was on the floor. Now it's in his little Rough and Rufus pen at night. Loves it. Next thing on the list is something that Jen just bought, and this is mainly for those types of things where a vacuum is just not going to do. This is the Dirt Devil portable spot cleaner for carpets and upholstery. We wanted something small and compact. I have a larger kind of carpet cleaner that's mainly for floors, and it does have an attachment, but it's just really not going to quite do the same thing here if you need to get to a couch, a love seat, a chair, and you just want something portable. Or we have a runner on the stairs, which I'm really not going to take a giant vacuum type carpet cleaner and go through. I'm going to hold this and go through each step by hand if you happen to mess on one of those. So it does have the attachment for that. It's fairly lightweight. I'd say it's probably 10 pounds or less. We haven't had a chance to use it yet, thankfully. He hasn't done any serious messes, but we are going to be trying out, so you will see a product video for that at some point in the future. It does have, I love it when they have the clear containers on it, because you can see exactly how messy or dirty the water is coming out of what you're cleaning. It does have the extendable flexible hosing with it as well, and it does have a few different attachment tools depending on what you're looking for. It's got kind of that standard attachment, and then another one that's a little more heavy duty. It's a stain tool versus a pet tool. On the back you can kind of see it in action. It also comes with the portable cleaning solution, as well as an oxy compound that you can spray onto the stain ahead of time.
Do I need to hit the next thing?
We already went through the Dirt Devil, and now I'm going to be going on to the Pet Bobby dog tie out. Okay. Which...
Hit the Dirt Devil.
Yeah.
Right, now I will tell you guys, I have to tell Joe that I'm sorry, because I have no idea where our children have gone with bells. They are not where they are supposed to be.
No, they're not.
At all. But the point of the doggy door actual longer bells is so that when they go to the door, they hear the ringing noise, or you hear the ringing noise as they're going out to be able to go out. And this set that we got also came with a clicker, and I know that
the clicker is at the front door. I know that much, yeah.
So our youngest steals the clicker and she goes around clicking. So I have no doubt that she also.
And for those of you, or any of you who were chiming in earlier today when we were on our regular time on Wednesdays, she came down here 2 or 3 times, and we were just asking her to get out. But each time she brought something, like she brought that Himalayan dog chew. She took that and took it upstairs, and she took 1 or 2 other things she took upstairs as well. But back to now, the Pet Bobby dog tie out cable and stake. So I wanted something that was pretty heavy duty and easy to put into the ground. Obviously we've used this. It's got a little bit of dirt on it. It's got the little cap on the end, so if you want to keep that on so you don't have a sharp point when you're not using it. Very easy to screw into the ground. It does have 360-degree access here, so this will spin around if the dog's going around it. One of the things I absolutely wanted on one of these was this on the end that's attached to the dog, because it's got a little bit of a spring. So if you ever have a dog that's running, and then they get to the end of the line and it goes tight, this isn't going to completely choke them out. It's going to flex a little bit and then stop them. And Frankie's small, but I couldn't find one that I really liked that had this on here. And this line in particular is a 40-foot model. I wanted something that was longer than the 12 to 15 feet that the smaller dog models come with. So this is a 120 pound max for this. So you could use this for very large dogs. but he's small. He just runs around in it. Running 40 feet for him is probably like a marathon. So he doesn't go that far. The other end gets clipped in here. We were using this when we had the kids in a bounce house outside. Yeah. He was just running around outside around there.
He was so happy. He felt like he had so much freedom.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to say that a dog looks like they're smiling, but he literally looked like he was smiling. He was so happy.
So now's the fun part where while Jen talks about the next item, I'm going to run upstairs and go get Frankie.
He was just looking at me, by the way, like, what are you doing in my furniture? Because I pulled all the clothes out. I'm just going to be honest with you, looking for it, and I will put them back later just so that you know. Okay, the very next item that I'm going to be going over, this is something that I got because I really read a lot about French Bulldogs before we got one. And everything that I read was letting me know that they can have like skin conditions, they can get dry skin, as most dogs can, right? A lot of dogs can kind of get itchy, dry skin. And so this is a guava, first of all, hydrating butter, but it's a leave-in conditioner. And so we tend to take those wipes that I showed you all earlier. We will wipe his whole face down, get any kind of tear stains, get any kind of things in all of his folds. I will also wipe him down with a coconut and aloe wipe, like larger hand wipe in general each day. And then he also gets this Warren London Dog Spa grooming products rubbed on the top of him as well. It smells absolutely amazing. And so for a dog that's constantly on us all the time, I just wanted to make sure that he smelled nice, because you can definitely tell when he's been outside and he's gotten a little sweaty because he stinks a little bit, right? He's a large potato. That's just his jam. Speaking of being outside, this is the Paw Protection. Paw Protection. It is, Paw Protection, Soothe, Heal, and Protect. What I really like about this is Frankie, and I'm going to show you guys Frankie. You guys ready? Oh, look at Frankie. Look at that little potato piggy over there. So show them Frankie's paws over there. Frankie has
He's got some big paws for a little guy.
He does. And those big paws can get kind of burned out on hot pavement and things like that. And so you can take this stick, and it's pretty large, and then you can take his paw and just rub on it just to give him a little bit of protection out there on the heat. It does say that it provides a wax barrier to protect paw pads from ice, snow, salt, sand, and heat, and that it can also just be an overall wellness and nourishment for their paws as well. This from natural.com, they said he's so cute. He's like, you got my stuff over there, Mom. I know you have all my stuff. Thank you, guys. This is probably one of my favorite things that's very, very easy to use on him, and it does have a % off at the time of our live stream. Another thing that I'm going to go over, because I tend to really super baby him and doctor him at night, and he has a wrinkle paste that goes in those folds on his face, especially if anything starts looking a little crusty. And then he also has things that has to go back on his bum when he has had some upset tummy issues. So I grabbed this. They said I love his ears. Yeah. He looks like a gremlin, right? So this is the Bumco 2-pack diaper. These are meant for babies, but I got these for Frankie because this smaller one I use on the little folds to kind of get down in there with his paste, and then when we do have to write, cream and things on his booty, I will use the longer one to kind of do that, so that you're not putting your hands anywhere, because your hands can have bacteria as well, and you just don't want to do that to your dog. Another thing that I will go over,
I can go over this one.
You want to go over this one?
You can show it. I'll talk about it.
Okay.
So
this is Frankie's new food. Look at his face. He's like, that's my food.
Yeah, he knows. Like, one of the things that was hardest for us is, we wanted to make sure we got a food that was good for the dogs. I'd been looking into grain-free versus food that had grain. We got him one of the highly recommended versions that was grain-free. He likes the food, but, he'd been on it for a few weeks, and after we changed him off of the puppy food that he was getting from the breeder, and he still was not having, I'd say, the best stomach.
Yeah.
It was hit or miss. So now we're trying this, and one of the things I will say is he absolutely prefers this
100%.
over his current grain-free food. This is not grain-free. This is the chicken and oatmeal, correct?
Yes. Chicken and oatmeal recipe.
It's the Blue Buffalo Life Protection formula. This is one was also fairly highly rated. I'm looking for that too to make sure that it's a good rate. It's the puppy formula.
So it says it has deboned chicken, the wholesome whole grains, which is the oatmeal, but it also has healthy fruits and vegetables as well, because that dog likes people food.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, like, it's hit or miss on if the grain free will help. So we're trying this option because oatmeal was one of the things that was recommended from the vet that might be something that may be able to settle his stomach on top of a couple other things. So we're giving it a try. So he's on day 2. You know, if you know anything about changing dog food, it's going to take a few weeks even after you've gone through the phase-in to see if his stomach adjusts.
He loves this.
I will say 100%.
The other
he
food.
Absolutely prefers this food over the other 100%. One, which is still a very highly rated food.
Yeah.
You know, but he definitely prefers this one.
So I will add this over onto our Amazon pet list as well, because I believe that we still have the other one added on there, which is still a great food. But I agree, he absolutely loves this food. And it has a % off at the time of our live stream, so maybe we need to go buy this because it has a % off right now. Okay, the very last thing we already went over with you guys, which is the Angry Orange Stain Remover. The reason that I put this last on our list is because I feel like of everything that we covered today for Mr. Frankie over there, this is probably the thing that we use the most.
And he knows what it is.
Yeah,
he knows what it is.
He's like, wait a minute.
Because he knows when this comes out, he's messed somewhere, and I'm having to clean it up.
Yeah. You guys can also see right there over on Frankie's collar.
He does have the fit bark right here. He does have his
fit bark on. And you'll see about how big it is on his little collar right there, just so that you guys can get a size reference for that as well. And let me go back and highlight that fit bark so that you guys can see it.
Yep, right here.
Let's see. I have to highlight it on the list. There we go. And
if you just heard some snorting into the microphone, that was him.
It was him. It was definitely him. Can I hold him?
You can.
I want to hold him. He wants to be my friend. I'm taking the dog. I'm taking
After this, I'm definitely taking him outside, though.
Oh, come here, my love. Okay. So, Frankie and I are going to do our sign-off. Hello. Frankie and I are going to do our sign-off for tonight. Hello. Oh, I love your kisses. Hello. What was that? Frankie sits with me in a lot of my creator meetings, so he is very creative as well. You can see him in a lot of the videos on all these products, which is in our storefront page. So if you are not currently following us, make sure that you tap follow on this live stream right now. You can also tap follow from our live stream right here and the storefront. There we go. I'm trying to hold on him because I know he's gonna jump. Are you gonna jump? Are you gonna jump? Are you gonna jump? Come here. So we are going to end our live stream now because Mr. Frankie, I know, wants to go outside and he is ready. He's ready to go. And we will see you guys next Wednesday during our next live stream. And thank you all for joining us during our pet stream tonight. Bye, guys.